What will you be, and what will you do?
I had a professor stand up and say, "How often are you going to use chemistry?" And we were all like, I don't know how much we're going to use chemistry. And then she said, "How often do you communicate?" Every day. And she's like, "You communicate every day." Such a vital skill that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter what you're trying to achieve in life, but what weaves it all together? Communication.
When you have this tool or this art form and you're able to tell these strong stories and tap into people's emotions, that's when you're talking about power.
I'm Yanni Velasquez. I am a University of Maryland alumni, and I do freelance public relations, producing, and social media engagement. So some of the skills that I learned, one big one was negotiating. And I learned to communicate the value that I bring into an agency, into whatever project I'm working in, and not being afraid to communicate that. It allowed me to branch out into public relations, into filmmaking, into social media.
One of the most powerful things about communication and relationships, which we were talking about, is that when we're communicating with others, we literally, through our words, have the power to get people to act, to not act, to follow us, to not want to follow us.
What I really enjoy also about what I do in the national parks is that it's not just about parks, it's not just about the outdoors and nature, it's about being able to work alongside Native and Indigenous communities and being able to tell their story.
When I am working in my role leading communications outside of the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion at the National Institutes of Health, I first have to understand that not everybody in the workforce, no matter where you work, is going to be receptive to the messages that you're putting out there. In order to get people on board with what you're messaging or what you're communicating or what you're selling, it's important to give context. I find that telling a story about what diversity means and how that shows up in the workplace or in real life, in your day-to-day, that's a great way to get people to get on board with what you're talking about.
Storytelling is essentially what I do at my job. If we're talking about a brand, we're telling their story. We are trying to communicate these messages to the audience. From there, it kind of snowballed into, okay, we want to get into comms. Where do we go from here? There are so many different avenues that we can go into in communication. I landed in the public relations track because I really enjoyed how it kind of feeds into the advertising, marketing, communication sphere. And that was where I kind of knew that my strengths lied. So that's the path I ultimately took.
You know, the importance of listening and showing empathy when speaking with a constituent are so important. Make people feel heard. And a way I would do that a lot of the times is telling constituents, you know, the senator cares deeply about your well-being, and it's important to him that we address your concern and that he can help in any way that he's able to help.
So communication has the power to really tap into human capacity. So in my work, I tap into someone's motivations to be everything that they can possibly be, to unleash their capacity.
We have to remember why we're communicating. These are potentially very dangerous situations. What reputations are at stake? How can we communicate what is going on? Without clear communication, an organization struggles. There are stakeholders that are expecting information. We have consumers that like product. We have people who rely on medicine. Like, what does this medicine do? Society has needs, audiences have needs, and if there is a disruption in that, if there is uncertainty, the crisis communicator is responsible for holding that organization together and fulfilling the duty of that organization. The core communications message sender: reduce the noise, get your message to those that need it. Having your audience be heard or your stakeholders be heard is very important.
You can dream big. It's almost like a gold rush in communication right now. In the profession, whether you work on the communication side, the public relations side, in the digital media, or perhaps even in the digital entertainment, whether it's news or documentary or film, everybody has to have a whole slate of these skills. In fact, what they're doing is communication.
Through communication, we can unleash, we can unwrap human capacity, which, yes, can help us get great jobs and make good money, but also can change the world, can change our communities, and can change families.
I'm referring to the career path, the job target you will select as you transition into the workplace. I'm talking about the vision you have for your life.
I would challenge you to find a job description on LinkedIn, Indeed, wherever, that didn't say excellent communication skills required.
And finally, I challenge you to join me along with a chosen few to be a professional who finds meaningful work so you can wake up every day and love the career path you have chosen, that after 15 years, you too, like me, will still be excited to go to work and perform your best. I challenge you that your be and your do will align.